Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Truth Talk. This is the podcast where we drop the filters and bring real conversations to the table. Let's challenge the narrative and talk about what actually matters. This is Truth Talk. Let's go.
Welcome. How are you?
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. Tim OHare, Tarrant County Judge. I'll tell you, it's an honor you being here. And I really wanted to take some time to talk to you about who Tim OHare is. And I keep doing these, what I like to call one-on-one forums, because it really gives the opportunity for the constituents, for the voters, everybody to really get to know the person behind the bench.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they can get a perception, right? Like,
Right.
oh, he's doing this and this and this,
Right.
and then yet like, but who is he? And so I really wanted to do that to actually talk about who Tim is and where where'd you come from, your background, and really just to give an insight of who and what you're about.
Yeah.
So I did some research on you.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, he's been an attorney, city council, mayor, party chair. I must have been out of it because I did not know that you were a party chair.
Right.
Okay. And then now, of course, Tarrant County Judge. So let me just start with, who is Tim OHare? And just to kind of give a brief, like, this is who I am, and then we'll get into some questions. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's great that you're doing this. And, I've met, I guess, 3 Republican presidents. Mm-hmm. And our image of Republican presidents, even many Republicans, because they're always put on the spot, they're always criticized when it comes to the media. Like a Joe Biden question is, what's your favorite ice cream? Yeah. Donald Trump, how long have you been a terrible human being and a racist and a pedophile? And then how do you smile and be happy answering that question? Mm-hmm. So the 2 of the 3 I've met were the warmest, friendliest, funny people, but it's not the perception that people have. So I think it's great that you're doing this. I don't get asked stuff like that much. It's what about this policy? Why'd you do this? Why didn't you do that?
Right.
So who is Tim OHare? I am, I guess, first and foremost, I'm a follower of Jesus. Mm-hmm. I'm a Christian. I was baptized at my church when I was 17 years old. Mm-hmm. And I was raised pretty much by a single mom. My mom and dad were divorced when I was 6 months old. My mom, Catherine, was her name. Mm-hmm. She passed away, gosh, it's been now 14 years ago. Mm-hmm. But she raised me on her own. And I had a brother who got married when I was 7. So he was not in the house, for much of my upbringing. And my mom raised me. We lived in a tiny little 900 square foot house in Farmers Branch, Dallas mm-hmm. County. And I lived in Dallas County until, in fact, Farmers Branch, until we moved to South Lake. I think it's been, 14, 15 years ago now. Mm-hmm. I got married really late in life. So I did not get married until I was 39 years old. In the year 2008, I announced I was running for mayor. I met this gal. I won the mayor's race. 3 months after that, I got engaged. Mm-hmm. And then 4 months after that, I got married. Mm-hmm. And that's Kristen, my wife. Mm-hmm. We've now been married, I guess December was 17 years.
I was going to say, get it right.
Yeah. Well, that I know. When we always forget it. What'd you get? I'll get her something really nice one year. She won't get me much, and vice versa. So we have 4 kids. We had our first baby when I was 41. Mm-hmm. So all 4 girls.
Oh, boy.
And tell me about it. So we now have, right now, until somebody else has a birthday, we have a 9-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 15-year-old. So it ranges from 3rd grade to 9th grade. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes to say I'm a family man, but I am. I would rather be home with my family than anywhere else mm-hmm. or with them. We like to watch football. We're a big football family. Okay. Even the girls like watching it. Okay. We go to a lot of football games. Mm-hmm. I have this, I don't know what you call it, a goal or a quest to see the Cowboys play in every NFL stadium. Mm-hmm. So I'm up to 21. And no, I'm up 24. I had 3 this year. I'm up 24. So there's 6 left. And but I'll try to take each child to a road game each year.
That's cool.
And the last one I went to was December. We went to Detroit. It was 12 degrees at game time, but it's an indoor stadium. But walking over to the stadium, it was freezing. And so that's a cool little bonding experience for the girls. All the girls play sports. I've coached all of them through the years. Now that the two older ones, I guess the three older ones, I don't coach anymore in anything. I still coach the youngest in softball. Part of the duties of being an elected official is, to go to functions and galas and banquets and meetings.
And there are a lot of them.
And there's a whole lot of them. But I would rather be with my family. So we try that, then do other things, at night. So I try to have a good balance. I go to a lot of events and things, but I try to take them with me to some. So
you're the cool dad.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say we're the cool dad. We have fun experiences. We enjoy life. We live life. We do a lot of vacations. We don't do as many as we used to. We used to try to do 2 every summer, 1 at spring break, and then we'd mix in some little small trip at Christmas just to kind of let them see the country. And it could be a trip to New York, or it could be a trip to Yosemite National Park. And it's a good mixture. We, every couple of years, we'll try to go to overseas somewhere. And I wouldn't call us the cool dad. We have some rules, and we make them follow them. We're, anytime you have kids, there's challenges. And, I look at it as the parent's job is not to make sure you're their buddy. It's to make sure you protect them from others and sometimes themselves.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
But we are a tight family. We spend a lot of time together. And that's who I am. When people ask, who are you? Yes, I'm the county judge. Yes, it's the chief political executive for what is the 3rd largest county in the state, and I think 15th largest in the country. I don't think of that's who I am. You mentioned all these political jobs. I don't think of I'm in politics. I don't think like that. I think I'm a husband and a dad and a sports fan, especially a football fan. So that's who I am. That's what I think of.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that, because there's not a lot of people that, like you said, you're behind the bench and stuff, and they just see the Tim OHare that's behind the bench. They don't really, and I think this happens to a lot of politicians, candidates, whatever, that they see them as that, and that's it. And you're real people. You have a family.
Or at least we used to be.
Yeah. Right, until they start putting all the labels, right?
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to jump over to talk about, the elections and things like that. And back in 22, when you ran on your campaign, you talked about cutting taxes, right? And you talked about restoring limited government. So now that you've been on the bench, how has that been? How have you brought that to where you're at today and your decisions and such? So
I'm a finance major. So I'm a business major, but finance was what I focused in. And so I understand numbers. I look at numbers, and numbers matter. So I can give you a whole host of them and throw them out there, and we can talk about them individually if you want to. Start with this. I promised that we would cut taxes if I were elected. Now, a lot of elected officials will cut the tax rate, and you actually pay more to the government than you did the year before, and they'll try to tell you it's a tax cut. So we've put in real tax cuts. So think about a Tarrant County property tax bill. If you're not in the water district jurisdiction, you usually would have 5 entities on your tax bill: city, school district, college district, and then county, and then hospital district. So the Tarrant County Commissioners Court is a 5-member body. All 254 counties in the state have a county judge elected countywide, and then 4 commissioners elected by precinct. In Tarrant County, we set the tax rate for the county government and the hospital district, those tax rates. So since I was elected, we have brought the county tax rate down over that 3-year period by 17%. All 3 years that we adopted tax rates, they were below the no new revenue rate. For the hospital district, I think the overall cut to the hospital district tax rate has been about 27%. Again, all 3 years below the no new revenue rates. And then if you look at the actual county budget, year one, we reduced the budget, the operating budget, by $8.1 million. Year two, we reduced it by a little over $50 million. And then year three, it was right at or a little over $21 million. So I think we're up to $81 million reduction in the operating budget over a 3-year period. Now, I have not heard of a single taxing entity in Tarrant County that has actually done what I just described. I'm not aware of a single taxing entity in Tarrant County that's actually reduced it from 1 year to the next, and we've done it 3 consecutive years. So there's 41 cities in Tarrant County. There are 20 school districts. Then there's the college district, the water district. I would tell you, I don't think anyone, not just in Tarrant County, I don't think anyone in the state has the record that we have to show for tax cuts and budget reductions.
And what people need to realize is that, and I know we'll get into this a little bit later, is that it impacts everybody, not just one party. Okay, and I want to make that clear, because during politics, it's always like, oh, it's on the R or the D and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like these tax cuts it's benefiting everybody,
and they're actual cuts.
They're actual cuts.
So property taxes are not a Republican versus Democrat issue. In fact, if you looked at what happened in I guess it was the 22 constitutional amendment election, that was when the state really tried to start doing something about these runaway property taxes. And they put the increased homestead exemption in. They did the deal where they created voter-chosen appraisal district board members. Well, that passed. I think it was 90-something%. And you can't get that kind of passage if you don't have everybody on board. Republicans, Democrats, independents, libertarians, Green Party, you name it. So it's a bipartisan thing, and it's needed for everybody. The other thing that was interesting, of the top 6 counties in the state of Texas, 5 of them prior to my arrival had 20% homestead exemptions on county property taxes. That's the max the state will allow a county to adopt, but it has to be a formal vote approved by the Commissioner's Court. Well, the top 6, 5 of them had the full 20%. 1 county had 0. I probably let you guess which one that was.
Really?
That was Tarrant County. And so year one, so we had no homestead exemption for county property taxes or hospital district property taxes.
I didn't know that.
Year one, we put in 10%. Year two, we put in the remaining 10% for both entities, the county and the hospital district. So now we have the full 20% max. And so those percentage cuts I gave you a minute ago, 27% for the hospital, 17% for the county, when you factor in the 10% cuts, the 10% homestead exemption, the 20%, it's actually bigger for homeowners. So it's a story of real tax cuts, real tax relief. In fact, if you pulled out one of your tax bills, a lot of people, it's sent to their mortgage company so they never see it. But for those who get it, or if you ask for a copy of it from a mortgage company, actually there's disclosure requirements now that the state makes you do, which I think are a great thing. On the back of it, it'll show you what you paid last year to an entity versus what you paid this year, and then the percentage increase or decrease. Year one, year two, biggest decreases were Tarrant County by a long shot. I didn't look at year three, but because we just passed it. But year one, year two, big reductions. And I think the range in year one, you may have paid, a homeowner may have paid anywhere from 26 to 12 to 24% less than they paid the year before on each entity. So it's been real tax cuts, real dollars saved. And I think we added this up the other day, just check it out. Where we've taken the rates for those entities, I think has resulted in collecting something like $650 or $60 less million in property taxes.
Oh, wow.
And
That's huge.
And, some people will say, oh, well, that's only a cup of coffee. Well, for some house, maybe it was 1 year, but if you look at the overall savings, it's undeniable. And people come up to us all the time. They send us messages and emails. I've gotten my tax bill. Yours went down. Thank you very much.
Mine went down a lot.
And a big chunk of it's what we did. Another chunk of it is what the state did with the school district property taxes. So I think it's a success story, and we've done exactly what we said we were going to do, and then some.
Right. And I know the other thing is balancing the budget, when you're cutting taxes and all, balancing the budget. But I remember you talking about when we had spoken in your office, you had this story. And I'm starting to see, because you are a finance major and you're looking at cut. So for those of you that don't understand your logic when you're looking at a budget, talk about that first thing that you saw about the TV.
The TV. So, I've told this story before in some groups. So the county judge, the state has the county judge as the chief emergency management officer for a county. Mm-hmm. Now, county judge, we're kind of back to not that many people know what it is. Mm-hmm. It sounds like a judge in a black robe presiding over a trial.
Right.
Well, in 22, based on COVID and the emergency declarations that everybody was operating under in the state, everybody learned pretty quick who the county judge was. Mm-hmm. So, in the 22 primary, which is when I was elected or when I was chosen as a Republican nominee, we had a contested gubernatorial race. We had a contested AG race. And remember, the gubernatorial race was three people, the governor, Allen West, Don Huffines. The AG race was Ken Paxton, George P. Bush, Eva Guzman, and Louis Gohmert. And the county judge was probably like 35 races down the ballot. I think we were tied with one of those for the second most number of votes cast, even though you had to drop down that far to get to it. People knew what it was. I mean, for sure, it was fresh on everybody's minds. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, I get elected. I'm now the chief emergency management director of the county, and with all kinds of powers that are given to one person in that position. And there was no TV in my office. So I wanted to get a TV in my office. Mm-hmm. And I had somebody from the county come to me and say, well, let us outfit you with some new furniture for $15,000. We can make this perfect, make it everything you want it to be. And I'm like, I didn't run on that. That's not what we're doing here. But I do need a TV in the office. So I didn't get new furniture. Mm-hmm. Furniture was fine. It's probably not the furniture I would have chosen if I was picking it, but I wasn't going to go spend the people's money to get myself fancy new furniture. It's a desk, it's a chair, I can sit in it, right? Mm-hmm. So I did say I need a TV. Mm-hmm. So I asked for a TV. So I could turn on the news and see things, whether it's fires, tornadoes, weather warnings, whatever it is. I wanted to be able to see it so I could make decisions and have as much real-time data info as I could. Mm-hmm. And a couple weeks go by. I don't hear anything about a TV. I don't get anything about a TV. And I reach out to the county administrator and say, well, where are we on the TV? I just need TV in here. And, they're working on it, Judge, they're working on it. And I'm like, well, what are they working on? I mean, we can drive down to Walmart and get a TV for $400 or $500 and a bracket for $99 and stick it on the wall.
Yeah.
And, they're working on it. They'll have it to you by Friday. So they finally get me a proposal and for a TV in my office. And there was the low-cost proposal and there was the high-cost proposal. And the low-cost proposal was $7,500. To have a TV and speakers and wires and whatever else they came up with. And the high-cost version was $35,000. And so when I opened this up,
what kind of TV? I mean, just like a 65-inch?
I mean, for that, you ought to get like live people performing on your screen or something. And so I couldn't believe it. So I printed it out. I asked the county administrator to come down to my office. I just printed it out. And when he sat down, I just set it across from him and said, take a look at that and tell me what you think. And he looked at it. And I visibly saw his jaw drop. And he said, wow, we really do have a spending culture problem here, don't we? I said, yes, we do, and we're going to fix it. So, moral of the story, we didn't do either proposal. They found a TV in a closet that had never been used, still in some styrofoam. Mm-hmm. So we spent $99, got a bracket, stuck it on the wall, used a streaming service that we already had that didn't cost another penny, and then I got the TV on the wall. But that's just one story of many where I have found just ridiculous waste and abuse. The hotel story. The Commissioner's Court approves the hotel, the out-of-town travel for elected officials in most circumstances or staff members. So I think it might have been the first meeting that we approved this. There was somebody staying for a conference on Disney property to the tune of $600+ a night before all the fees and everything else came in. $600+ a night. Then there was somebody else on the same agenda that was staying at a hotel like on the beach in San Diego, $590 a night, and then the fees and everything else they tack on and the taxes. And I mean, that's we're
crazy.
spending other people's money. We're not doing that anymore. So we voted it down, and we said, bring us back a policy that brings this in line. So now elected officials and staff members can stay at the government approved rates unless there's some extenuating circumstance. But there have been no $500, $600 hotels since that. And that was literally like the first month that I was in office. There's a mindset, Kathy, where it's not their money. That's not how they would spend their money at home.
That's exactly right.
But even if it is how they would spend their money at home, well, they can choose to spend their money however they want to.
Right.
When they're spending your money and the people's money that way and wasting it, I mean, it's not like we're making them stay at, the Days Inn.
Motel 6.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, they're staying in safe places.
Right.
But we're not going to stay in Ritz-Carltons on Disney property. That's just not what we're doing. So we've found so many different places where there was just waste, abuse, even several instances of fraud. We've cleaned it up, and that's how we could produce these tax cuts but while still providing the same or better services than we did before. And we did all of that while giving the biggest pay increases to law enforcement in Tarrant County that they've ever received 2 years in a row.
That's fantastic. And what you're describing to me, for the thing that keeps coming in my head is you basically were doing the zero-based budgeting method.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, do we need this? Do we need that? Do we need that many people? What are they doing? So that's a good thing. And I think that needs to be done across all government entities. I'm talking in every area.
And you know what?
Yearly.
That's not a partisan thing either.
Right.
I mean, Democrat money and independent money and non-political money, it's the same. It's their money.
You're
and
right.
so what we have found is there have been plenty of Democrats who have said, hey, we appreciate what you're doing there. Now, they may not vote for you, but they say, we appreciate you doing that. It is needed. And in every government entity that exists, you can find that. And if you set your mind to it and you make it a priority to look for it and stamp it out, you can. A lot of times we don't have enough elected officials that do that.
Right. And I'm glad you're saying that, because that's something, I hate to say I'm getting up in age, but I'm getting to the point where, like, okay, I want to be able to stay in my house. I want to be able to, to live comfortably and so forth. And so what you're doing is you're actually giving people in 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s the chance of actually being able to stay there. And that is a good thing. And I really appreciate that. And I want to make sure that people understand that, because, again, it impacts everybody. And I know, and we're going to get into this next, that let's talk about like the redistricting. So I'm going to bounce
before we do that. Let's talk real quick about affordability.
Okay.
So we have an affordability problem in the country. Everybody knows it.
Everybody knows
Housing through the roof.
Yes. Yes.
Milk, gas, all these things.
Right.
Well, you want to blame President Trump, you want to credit President Trump. At the end of the day, inflation was really high before he took office.
That's
it's
true.
Down. Carton of eggs, very high, it's down. Gasoline, very high, it's down.
It is.
But you have all these elected officials in local cities, school districts, county government, talk about affordability. We got to bring the cost down, Well, the one thing that these governments can do to actually bring the cost down, the one thing that they actually control is property taxes. They actually control that.
That's true.
And that is a huge piece of why costs are so high. Now, inflation, that's more federal. That's more spending by the federal government, although the local governments contribute to it too. That is heading in the right direction. Is there more spending that can be cut in Washington, D.C.? Oh my gosh, is there more spending that can be cut? But it's going in the right direction. But for the local offices, if you want to help homes be more affordable, one, you eliminate regulations, you reduce regulations, you make it easier to build a home. But number two, the bigger one, is you cut taxes. You cut the property taxes people have to pay. Landlords, they're going to make their money.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to pass it on to the people who are renting. And that's the one thing you can't control. We've taken that seriously, and we have been successful at it, and we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because it's true. It's the property taxes. And, of course, you have TAD as well that kind of plays into that. And I've said this before on some other interviews that people think, okay, well, your taxes are going down. That's great. But when you look at the appraisal piece of it,
Right.
Yes, that's great that we get a higher homestead. But that's all good. But when your appraisal keeps going up and up, you're still going to be paying more taxes. So it kind of all interconnects there. And we want to make sure that everybody's being treated fairly when it comes across that. And as well as I know the school districts depend on that, the property taxes, I get that. But I also believe that probably need to do some zero-based budgeting in your area too.
Yeah, let's talk about TAD. So TAD, and I know you want to get to the redistricting,
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
we'll go
fine.
wherever you want to go. But TAD, so when I took office, TAD was a disaster, a total disaster. It was not transparent. The person in charge was hiding things. It could not be trusted.
Yeah.
And I think our average, and I may not have this exact stat down because it's been a while since I've seen it, but I think the number of protests in Tarrant County was like 5 times the state average. And I mean, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So there are new people on the TAD board. We removed the chair of the TAD board because the chair of the TAD board thought that the chief appraiser was just great at his job, and he wasn't. And so we made some changes. Then the state passed the deal where the public got to elect 3 of the board members. So now 3 new members came in, and the tax assessor becomes an automatic board member. So a lot of things have happened to change TAD. Some of it I've made efforts to do, like replace the chair. Others, state has done it, and the voters have voted. And they've made some improvements. It's not there yet. And so the state is going to have to come in and do more to address these appraisals and property taxes. So people want property taxes abolished. Sign me up. I'm all for it. At the moment, county government, I think it's something like 77% is funded by property taxes. So if you just eliminated that with something didn't take its place, you wouldn't have criminal courts, a DA's office, a jail. I mean, there'd be a lot of criminal justice-related issues that you couldn't do. So I'm all for figuring that out, and that's a state-level thing, and I'm happy to be part of the discussion. But until that is done, the appraisal system has to get under control. So I tell everybody, protest your property taxes.
Yeah.
Every year, protest them. I built a house a long time ago. I knew nothing about this. Then I bought a second house. And when I bought the house, I looked up on the appraisal website, every house on that street. And every one of them was lower by significant, by a couple $100,000 than the one I bought. Well, it didn't take me but a couple seconds to figure it out. Every other person on my street, and we're talking like probably 40 homes, every other home had a protest agent but mine. The guy that I bought the home from never hired a protest agent, just whatever they said he paid. So I'm like, I figured this one out. So I hired one. And before long, mine actually went down below some others because there were comps you could use. Took a couple years, but everybody should protest their property taxes. Every single person.
I totally agree with that. I did that with mine, and I couldn't believe it. I ended up having to pay half. I thought, wow.
And you think, look how much I gave away for all these years.
Don't even
Yeah,
get me
that's
going.
right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, it took me only 10 years to figure that one out. So yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to jump over to the redistricting. Okay, there was so much hoopla about the redistricting piece of it. And I know the current district precinct 2 commissioner has been very loud about it. You're trying to suppress votes.
Yeah.
You were trying to, it was racist. I kept hearing about racism.
That's all
And
she knows.
Yeah, it's just racism, everything. Because I'm in that precinct. I went to one of the town hall meetings, and it was just, racist this, suppression that, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm Hispanic. I don't feel like I'm being suppressed. And I have a black and brown family, and they weren't suppressed. So anyways, I want to talk to you about that, because that is something that you've been called, and that's something that she champions and has been out there. So tell me, are you racist?
Well, of course not, but let me address it this way. The Tarrant County Commissioner Court, when I arrived, 3 Republicans, 2 Democrats. One Democrat was a longtime member of the Commissioner Court named Roy Brooks. I like Roy. I got along with Roy. I may have liked Roy more than he liked me. I had a respect for him, and we could talk to each other. We disagreed a lot on policy. We actually disagreed less than people might think, being on opposite sides of the aisle. But I had a respect for him, and I thought he was a good man. He was a good husband, good father. His replacement is a guy named Roderick Miles. I would almost describe my relationship with Roderick Miles the same as my relationship with Roy Brooks, except because we're closer in age, we probably get along a little better and see the world the same. I tell you, I think I'd be speaking for all the Republicans on the Commissioner's Court. I'd be speaking for multiple people on the county staff. The commissioner you're speaking of is one of the most vile, racist, unintelligent, mean-spirited people I've ever run across. She doesn't know how to fix any problem that she perceives as a problem. Half of the things she perceives as a problem aren't problems. All she knows how to do is cry racism, create chaos, sow discord. If you're a Democrat and there's something that you want to be done or changed at the Tarrant County Commissioner's Court or in the county, you could not have a less effective advocate. You could not have someone who knows how to fix something less than this person. So let's now talk about redistricting and what really went on. So in 2020, the census comes out. And in Dallas County, Travis County, Bexar County, and Harris County, all 4 of them redrew Commissioner's Court districts. 2 of them drew out Republicans to put in Democrats. 2 of them just strengthened already Democrat seats. What did Tarrant County do? Tarrant County didn't change a thing. So there was no redistricting done on Tarrant County Commissioner's Court districts for 15 years, despite the fact over 15 years the population of Tarrant County exploded.
Right.
Okay. So that alone, political malpractice. But we live in a world today where, it's not on the 9th day God created Tarrant County Commissioner Precinct map. So maps are created by people. And maps are created by people for political reasons. This is not anything that's uncommon. This is not anything unusual. How many Democrats, anytime they see their power going away, do they cry racism, cry foul, file lawsuits, claim it's illegal? That's what they do. However, when they take it away, we're supposed to just sit there and take it and think it's perfectly acceptable. So Dallas did it, perfectly acceptable. Harris County did it, perfectly acceptable. Bexar County, Travis County, perfectly acceptable. Tarrant County does it, woe is me. So ultimately, they filed 2 lawsuits, and both were thrown out. They appealed one of them, and it was thrown out. So they claimed that it was illegal. It wasn't. This is a function of politics. And so what I said is, I want to draw maps that give us another Republican on the court to make it a 4-1 court if the county judge remains Republican. So that's what we did. That's what we passed. We did exactly what they did in all of these counties across the state. But we've also seen with Texas redrawing congressional maps to give Texas what is believed to be a 5 Republican advantage. And when Democrats cried foul, well, then everybody started exposing what they had done in states all across the country, where in some states it's like 44% of
Like
their
California.
population
It's crazy.
voted for a Republican president, and they have 0 Republican congressional seats in some of these states. So they just don't like it when we play the game they play.
There you go. That's what I was,
you know what? You got to fight fire with fire. And so I did not run for this to go be a wimp, to go be cautious, to go on a 4-year-long apology tour. I believe Republicans offer better solutions for everyone, not just Republicans. I believe more money back in your pocket is good for everyone. White, black, brown, whatever color you want to ascribe to them, whatever ethnicity, nationality, or any other group you want to put people in. I don't wake up and say, what can I do for my people other than my people are Tarrant County people? I do wake up every day and go to sleep every night thinking how we can make life better for people that live in Tarrant County and businesses that are in Tarrant County. So I don't put a lot of stock into something that an unintelligent, unprofessional, vile, racist states, and that's who she is. And Tarrant County will soon be rid of her, and everyone will benefit.
Because she's now running against you
Right.
for judge.
Right.
Okay.
And we've heard from many Democrats who can't stand her, and they say they won't support her.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not well liked even by Democrats.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So open door policy. Do you, we're talking about all of everyone. So is it an open door policy, even if it's a Democrat or independent or whoever that want to talk to you about maybe some issues that they have?
Yeah, we'll talk to anybody.
Okay.
We'll talk to anybody.
Okay. Pretty responsive?
Well, I would
You
say
guys?
we're incredibly responsive.
Okay.
So my office staff has a rule to follow, which is we respond to every single one who reaches out to us by telephone or email within 24 hours, and we try to do it the same day. Now, we get phone calls from people that they're not interested in talking about any problem or issue. They cuss a blue streak, scream at my staff, call you every name under the sun. We've had, there's one guy that's been put in jail that threatened to kill me and the sheriff. There's one guy that's been put in jail, threatened to kill Commissioner Manny Ramirez. Another one that's been put in jail, threatened to kill our tax assessor, Rick Barnes. If the general public knew, I get messages from people saying, if I were you, I wouldn't step outside your house without wearing Kevlar. Actually, you really should put it on your kids. And then they'll name the schools they go to. If people saw it, they'd be shocked at what we've seen. And I mean hundreds and hundreds, if not a couple of thousand. And let me tell you what this is going to do. And it's already doing it. You're going to see fewer and fewer and fewer qualified people run for office.
That's exactly right.
And so it becomes a reality show. When you have people like AOC and Jasmine Crockett, like you couldn't find a Fortune 2000 company anywhere in America that would put them in charge of their company. There'd be a shareholder revolt.
Yeah.
My counterpart next to me on the commissioner's court, who's now running for county judge, I literally wouldn't hire her to run a one-person snow cone stand. But this is who keeps getting elected, and it's going to create even more headaches in our country than we see now. We are now rewarding people who are bombastic, who are obnoxious, who running for office becomes about how many views can you get and clicks can you get and likes can you get, instead of actually doing the job and doing a good job. If you look at the Tarrant County government from a financial perspective, you'd be hard pressed to say, "Oh, we could do this. We could do this so much better." We run it like a business. We provide better service than we did when I got there, and we do more with less. And unfortunately, we live in an age in our country due to social media and due to just self. You know, I know how you were raised, how I was raised. I was raised not to go brag on myself and to be humble and not to. Well, it's hard to be in politics without promoting yourself and the stuff you do.
That's true.
And it kind of flies against, you know, for those who are humble or
it
try
feels
to be.
Uncomfortable.
I don't. It's like the part of politics that I hate the most. I don't want to sit there and, hey, look how wonderful
Look at
I
me,
am.
yeah.
I don't want to. I just don't. I don't like it. But that's how people are getting rewarded today, and how people are climbing the ranks.
That's crazy.
And so you either adjust, you know, or you get out. And that's going to lead to fewer and fewer qualified people seeking these positions.
I see that already. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay, well, I really want to thank you for coming by. I really enjoyed learning more about you, your background, and I hope that the viewers will also see Tim the man, not just the judge, Tarrant County judge. And so, you know, here's our closing. If you'd like to say anything to the voters coming into early voting on the 17th.
Yeah.
And then primaries is on the 3rd, right? I think it's the 3rd.
Yes, March 3rd.
Okay, so you're closing.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. It's been an honor to be here with you. I appreciate that you're doing this. I think it's a great idea. And happy to come on anytime and answer any questions you ever have or answer them not being on here. SD 9. Republicans lost Senate District 9 on Saturday. That needs to be a wake-up call for every Republican precinct chair, club leader, elected official, candidate, voter in our county.
Yes.
Tarrant County is a special place. It's a great place to live, work, raise a family, go to church, if you can keep it. And you don't keep it if you let the other side outwork you. Our policies are better. You go to downtown Fort Worth. There's no crime down there. It's safe to be on the streets. Go to some other major metropolitan downtowns. Tell me if you feel safe. There's nothing like it. And we can keep it that way as long as we keep cutting taxes, keep supporting law enforcement, keep promoting job growth.
Yeah.
As county judge, I set out to do multiple things. One of them I set out to do was cut taxes. We've done it. Reduce spending. We've done it. Make our elections more secure. We've done it. Bring more jobs into this county. We've done it. Support law and order. We've done it. We are on the right path. It's a great place to live, but it won't be that way if our people don't get out and vote. So yes, I'd be honored to have your vote in the March primary. And then in November, we've got a real battle on our hands.
Yep.
And I promise that I will help lead this party to victory in November, and not just win to win and not just win to have power, but to continue doing the things that we've been doing to make Tarrant County better and to make our government more efficient, more limited, and more responsive the way it ought to be.
Well said.
Yep.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Judge OHare. And I appreciate everything that you're doing.
Yep. Thank you, Kathy.
All right, guys, that wraps up today's episode of Truth Talk. Go ahead and like our page and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you're always the first to catch new episodes as they drop. And thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode.